Hi guys, it's me here, Epic Monkey. Today I'm going to be speaking about The Flash, Season 7, and my concerns after talking about this season. I have to say, like, every other season I've been able to watch this show and just look past any faults because, like, even though while they're there, they didn't really affect the quality, entertainment too much for me. It was good enough, for example, in the previous seasons when Godspeed was holding hostages and stuff, there was tension and threat and it was really good. But this season, just starting with the Forces arc, the first mistake was making these Forces humans, because you got the Forces and then they just infect a human host, and then the human host is basically considered a god. What they should have done is what they did with the Speed Force, who I completely refuse to call Nora, but what they should have done with that is basically just have the Forces have their own consciousness. So it might have made the family stuff a little bit more bearable than it was, because by that logic, Harrison Wells is the father of all metahumans. Barry needs to start calling him father now. Barry needs to get on that shit right away. He's disrespecting his creator. Seriously, it's just, I really wish, it was just their own consciousness. This season has been, in that sense, it's very sloppy and just inconsistent in the sense of, just what am I supposed to think? What am I supposed to take away from this? A bunch of humans have become gods, and now they're living with their god-tier sister in the pocket dimension. They're not even fucking sister. They're not related. I can't. Who thought it was a good idea? It's it was just bad. If Abracadabra, though, they disrespected him on a whole nother level. Now, in Season 3, we get the impression that they're future enemies, Abracadabra and the Flash. But to use Abracadabra's family as a bargaining chip to get him to not destroy a city is ridiculous. He was so bad in, in that Season 3 episode, he was literally being sent to a different Earth to be executed, I think. They've gone from that to, my family's dead, your family wouldn't want to... Dude, the guy's committed 1,000 crimes. Why is he all of a sudden gonna care? This is the same dude that killed security guards, somebody that Gypsy cared about, if I remember correctly, and many other people. No, he does not care. Don't use his family. He should... it's just out of character. But I guess, god damn it, this is the season where Barry just talks down his enemies, I swear. And then we get to the Cisco episode, which, for the most part, I liked. It was a good episode, reminiscing, it was emotional, and, it was a good episode, for the most part. I just wish they picked a different villain, because, seriously, the stakes for the episode for Cisco needing to prevent the thing from crashing into a stadium, a blimp crashing into an empty stadium was priority for Cisco, It should have been a different villain that could have challenged Cisco intellectually. That would have been better, I think, than what they did in that sense. But most of the parts of the episode was alright. It was a little disappointing that there was conflict in the sense that Cisco thought that they didn't care about him and the way they were acting. That was a bit... But I can kind of look past that. But should have definitely given him a better villain for that episode. It's cool to see Barry's new speed shown off for that one episode, though. That's pretty... it's pretty cool. He saved 6,000 people in the stadium in under a minute or two. I didn't time it right, but it was pretty good, I have to say. To see him moving that fast, but doesn't excuse that Cisco should have been given a better villain. That should have been the priority of his final episode, excluding when he does come back for the finale. This is his goodbye episode, Although I'm thinking about it, they should have just made the goodbye episode the final episode of the season if they was going to bring him back. Just, it don't matter. With the Forces arc, though, I at least... I can appreciate the way they managed to, like, beat Nora... I refuse to call it Nora. The Speed Force by, talking... well, not talking even, just showing her what life would be like alone. This is an entity that's been around since before the universe, so I can acknowledge on some level they would want interaction and communication, and they already showed us like they value life even before being affected further by Barry and Iris's love when being created. Oh my god, I can't believe that was the fucking explanation. The power of love. You just need to fucking play that in the episode. That's all that's missing, I swear. No, but seriously, so it was alright though, like, the way they managed to convince the Speed Force to come round. But then we get to the Godspeed stuff, and it was... Some of it was fantastic, some of it was fucking terrible. Why are they fighting in normal speed and stopping for non-speedsters like Cisco and Caitlin? Sure, Caitlin can freeze them, but it shouldn't have lasted as long as it did. And some of the fights were cool, but the sword fight was unacceptable. Give Godspeed the sword, that's fine, he can do that. You don't need to explain that, I guess, but having Barry and Reverse Flash just look at each other, Taskmaster powers activate. No, they shouldn't fucking know how to do that. Just instead, what they should have done is show them localizing their Speed Force lightning to where the sword is about to strike as a deflection strategy whilst getting some punches in. That would have been miles better than that. And Barry now being faster than Reverse Flash in the way that it was shown was fantastic. And shows with the consistency of the swords, at least. Because I will admit, the choreography was good, but just... at the same time. But, I did notice a nice attention to detail. Godspeed, who was the fastest, had the largest lightning sword. Barry had, a medium... and Reverse Flash had more of a stick than anything. So I think that was cool in the way that was, thought out, at least. But still, it should have been something else, not Star Wars. They turn it into Star Wars. They can. I don't think it can get worse than that. I apologise in advance if I jinxed it, but I think it's literally impossible to be worse than that. This is a show hitting rock bottom. Now we need it to come back up, but... I have concerns. Before I get into that, I have to say I do like Bart and the new version of Nora, and at least they've confirmed she isn't in any way old Nora, although they're pretty similar. She's just more mature now. But Bart, fantastic. That when they foreshadow the put the hat on scene, it made it so much more impactful watching Jay convince Bart to have patience and not run out there. That top notch. That is the best writing of the season. Right there, hands down, best writing of the season. I don't care. Nothing else this season comes close to that, I swear. Iris's time sickness, where the hell is that? Are they gonna... I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna address it next season, but just it's magically gone for a bit. Woohoo! That's all that was, really. What the fuck is it? They ain't even explained what it is. That would be nice, at least. At least we know what we're dealing with. But, yeah. This season, the Allegra episode, I don't even want to talk about. That never existed, in my opinion. It never did. That's all I'm going to say on that. Although one point I will make, it would have been better if Barry was in that episode and Joe was in Cecile's mindscape for the previous episode. It might have made the Allegra stuff bearable, but Cecile deserves her own episode before Allegra. None of them should have their own episode, but if anyone does, Cecile deserves one more than Allegra. But, yeah. I'm just gonna now really just discuss what I hope happens now, because they're teasing up the Reverse Flash to potentially be at some point the villain of next season. Now, if they want to do the Reverse Flash right, because they only have one, if if we're lucky, potentially unlucky, depending on the story and writing. If we're lucky, though, we could be getting 2 more seasons. I want them to give enough seasons to tell the Reverse Flash's origins properly. Like, I'm sick of. I don't mean it in a negative way. I'm gonna really discuss this in depth in a different video. But for Reverse Flash, it needs to be Matt Lechner's face now. It's like, I'm tired of seeing Tom. I do like him as the Reverse Flash. He's amazing, but at the same time, he whispers too much. It kind of gets hard to listen to after a while. You know, it's not menacing. He didn't whisper for the entirety of season 1. And then all of a sudden, it's just whispercraft. It's like, why? You know, just... So what I hope... Screw it. I'm just going to say it now. This is what I hope to see for the Reverse Flash. Next season, Barry, in some desperate attempt to maybe save Iris, kills the Reverse Flash, puts him down for good, this version of him, and have him run to the 25th century for whatever reason, like time capsule to the future. That's the comic idea for it anyway, but have him meet the Reverse Flash, discover the Reverse Flash is not, you know, using it. He's got the powers at this point, but they should obviously do flashback scenes. But Barry will run to the future, Reverse Flash will have his powers, he's causing trouble and like to try and save, you know, he's causing accidents to save people. And Barry stops him, puts him away in jail, and then, you know, Reverse Flash comes out, tries to find Flash through time travel, only to discover, you know, he got killed by the Flash, and he goes on to hate him. Then it ties into season 2, episode 11, where we meet the younger Reverse Flash, and then we go from there and finish and conclude his arc, hopefully with enough screen time, because Matt Lechner deserves a lot of screen time. Like, he was fucking amazing in Legends of Tomorrow, so I really feel like he needs enough time to flesh out his Reverse Flash in The Flash. It's just been Tom's face. Have they forgotten? Do we need to remind the writers? But yeah, that's what I hope happens with this version of the Reverse Flash's story, and they introduce the younger one after that. It'd be cool to see both of them on screen for an episode. Like, that would be neat, but I'm worried about them and how they're going to handle Reverse Flash's origins. I'll do a proper in-depth video for that another time, but I'm going to leave it here now and just, yeah. Those are my thoughts on The Flash this season and what I hope for the Reverse Flash next season. I hope they save civilians as well, but that remains to be seen. There was barely anyone this season. Like, obviously, pandemic is the reason behind that, but still. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts of this monstrosity of a season in the comments, and I look forward to reading them later. Bye.